Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, Simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey E, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for joining us and tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Tonight's episode of the J Spot is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Guys, please do me a favor. Go to his page, place an order. He has some amazing colors on there, amazing summer apparel. So the code is JAYE, and his link will have the Delaware Inc. link dropped in the comments. So again, use reference code J, and that's JAYE. Guys, I hope that you all have enjoyed this short work week. It felt like it was a regular work week, but it was, how did it feel to you? Because it's like sometimes you come back off of a long weekend and you just like, dang, they could have just I could have just worked the whole week. If I was going to feel like this, I just could have worked the whole week, because that's what it felt like. Tuesday, it was kind of smooth sailing, but about today, I'm like, you sure we had Monday off?
It was just long because I've been in training classes all week, so it's just been...
I know. Congratulations.
Woo! I've been like bored with all these safety
Can
classes.
I tell what we're saying congratulations for? Are you gonna? You could tell it. Okay, I'll let you tell it because it's sure good. Okay, because it's been killing me. Okay. So guys, E got a promotion to supervisor on her job. So
Thank you.
Okay, good. Because I was just like, I don't know how long she think I'm gonna be able to sit up here and hold this like throughout the whole show. I'd have been like, so you gonna say something, or you like I just like, but so not that I don't want people to share their own good news, but you know what? It's just some things that just
it's been a long time. I had to quit the job and come back.
But it just, I like hearing good things. So, and I just like to let, people share their own good news. But if they don't get to it fast enough, then I just kind of, absolutely. And see, that lets you know that I'm always rooting for you. If I'm ready to share your good news, see, that's what I'm saying. See, now be concerned if people don't want to share your good news. Yeah, that's where you, but if you trying to beat, you like, okay, I didn't see no post. I'm like, okay, so
I did post.
I didn't see it. I'm like,
I said, look at God. I said, I got a promotion. I'm at my new job.
Maybe I saw it, but it just wasn't like as popish as I thought, So I'm just like, okay, well, maybe we're gonna just do a little bit more. And then it's like, here we are today, and it's like, okay, I know we're not even 5 minutes into the show, but I'm just like, it's been eating me up for a whole week. Like,
I think I got like almost 300 people had sit up on it because I had left. Like I had been at this job since May, and I had finally got promoted to supervisor. And so when I got promoted to supervisor, I was like, my first job was just working my nerve because he was you're not gonna treat me like anything. I'm sorry. It's so many places out here hiring or whatever, and as people have learned throughout the COVID, you can create your own stuff. I mean, like I didn't hurt when the COVID hit. I had massage clients coming out the wazoo, so I didn't hurt. But you're not gonna treat me like crap, and I'm not gonna allow you to treat me like crap. I don't care who you think you may be. And so I was like, okay, Allah, I need to leave here. And I was making if I did both of them, I was making some ugly money if I continued to do both of them. And my daytime job, I didn't do anything. I really am not going to say like I really worked and hustled. I really didn't. We didn't have a lot of customers or whatever. So I really didn't do a whole lot, but you're still not going to treat me like crap. And then I'm looking at it as, man, you coming back showing me how you took your children on vacations and stuff. Y'all went skydiving, all this other good stuff. And I'm like, nah, hell no. I'm making you rich like it ain't no tomorrow, and you trying to feed me some pennies.
Right.
I mean, you can eat something on that one. I can tell you like that. And I won't give you the satisfaction on eating E. I can tell you like that.
Well, won't he do it? Well, again, congratulations on your promotion. And man, just best wishes to everything that you got going on. Listen, guys, we are going to go ahead and get started. God, we have so many hot topics and so many great things to talk about. So I want to start off with this hot topic. Now, what do you all think? A single father, he has custody of his teenage daughter. She's 13 years old. And so she comes to him and she asks him, to buy her some thongs. And so now he's wondering, what should he do? He's like, okay, at 13 years old, should I be buying my daughter thongs at 13? And he really wants to know because it's, again, he's a father. So he's not, he's like, okay, well, is that the end thing for, our girls wearing these, is this the end thing? Is it appropriate for a 13-year-old girl to be wearing thongs? So we want to help this father out. So what are your thoughts? His 13-year-old, she like, listen, Dad, can you buy me some thongs?
I wish I would.
I won't, go to the regular sexy, to the regular sexy store. So 13 years old, she wants some thongs.
No. I had to wait till I was like almost 30 to get some thongs. So no. I take that back. My first pair of thongs I wore and I purchased and I was 18 and it was for prom. So I wish the hell I would buy a 13-year-old a pair of thongs.
Okay, so
I was skinny, you little bastard over there. But they make them in my size too, because I bought some last year. You want to see them? They're in my drawer. I'll wear them for you next week. Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture and show you all this good stuff. You want it.
So listen, guys, what do you all think? Tonight we are taking calls. So if y'all want to talk to us, everybody was acting so shocked when we dropped the number in the feed last week. So I guess we need to start giving the phone number out more often. So if you guys want to chime in on anything we're talking about tonight, feel free to call in 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. So with the thongs, 13 years old with the thongs, it's a high no. No. What you need? I'm just trying to figure out, what does a 13-year-old need with thongs?
Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing.
At 13, nobody should know what you got on. So you could be telling somebody you got on the thong, and nobody should know what you got on. So you could be saying you got. Who gonna know?
You barely gonna be able to listen to Cisco's thong song. Man, I wish the hell nobody.
13. Oh my Lord! It's like, oh, they go with this, kick you with the old school. Y'all so old fashioned. That's so old school. Like, what's wrong with wearing a thong?
Because they don't when they do a advertisement or commercial, and you see the little child walk across the thing with some thongs on, then fine. You know what? Hey, we must have arisen straight to hell. Now we are there now.
Oh, we there
because we're in hell or whatever it is.
We're there. We are there.
But until I don't care when it does happen. I wish the hell I would. I'm so glad I don't even have those issues. I don't have a little 13-year-old child. I thought about doing a little, adopting little children and stuff like that. I can't even do that no more.
You know what I did? I went through I was a foster parent. That's when I found out, that they like burning up houses and stuff while you sleep inside. They like setting curtains and stuff on fire. They'll set your dog on. They'll set your cat on fire. They'll set Cinnapol on fire and set them right on your bed. And So I thought about it, and you know what? I might, once I get other things, in order, depending on, how I am. But I might adopt a kid, but it wouldn't be no baby. It'll be my, listen, you got to be 8 or 9 years old, have an 8 or 9 year old sidekick, because that's what you want. You've been listen, okay, I understand you done been through a lot in this system. Miss J gonna love you, but let me tell you, you break anything, that's your end. You set anything on fire, that's your end. I'm going to put those are the type of people that I want to talk to. I say, so listen, if we gonna rock and roll, and we gonna get you straight, and we gonna get everything worked out for you. But the downside to all of that was, you know what, they stressing reunification with the families. So one while, okay, I'm really 50, I'm really on the fence with that. Because what if you have a kid and the people were abusing them, so now they're placed with you in a foster home, but the parent is agreeing to get themselves together or whatever, and so you have to allow the child to see, the parents and everything. And so I kind of feel like the good that you're doing for them, sometimes it can be undone when you send them back into that same type of environment they was taken from. Because I'm like, listen, the last thing I need to do is be cracking your head upside the wall, and then I got to come after your mama, because it'll be a whole.
What if the foster child say, well, my mama let me wear a thong?
That's why you're not with your, see, that'll be, now I'm like, now here, see, that's why you're not with your,
and my granny.
I'm like, that's why you're not with your dope fiend mom and your crackhead grandmama. But see, then that'd be wrong. I said, but you know what? You ain't gotta be like that. So that's why me and you together, and we gonna rock, and I'm gonna try. I say, now listen, I know I ain't got it all together. Miss J ain't gonna make it seem like, because she may say or do some things that your crackhead people had done. But just know you gonna always be safe, okay? That's one thing you do know.
I got pictures of me in a thong. You want to see?
No, we don't want. We no thong pictures. So the 13-year-old, it's a no for the. It's just a no for the thongs, because again, there is. That's that age, that's that fine line. They trying to find themselves and find out who you are and all this and that. I'll never forget the first time. Oh, Lord have mercy, when I saw a thong. Oh God, when I tell you, Lord, and then let me just tell you, I almost ended up in the ER because I didn't know how it go. I had the wrong.
You had the wrong end on. How you? No.
Whoa, I was just like,
you had them backwards.
Yes, I was like, should this feel?
It's not right. You probably had the one that's for your waist on the down there, and the thing down there on the side trying to.
It was cutting off circulation from both ways. I'm surprised I was able to have kids that tight that.
They like wearing this like this. How you wear this like this? Don't feel right. This
when I say
instructions,
I literally had to cut it off.
You like, man, this.
So can you all imagine having the part that's supposed to? It just understand. And I was how, because I think I was like 17. Listen, you all, let's keep an eye on your people and make sure, because especially if their elevators don't go all the way up to your kids. You know your kids. If they elevate, listen, some of them a little touch. And I don't think my mother had even known what I don't even think she knew what thongs was back in the day.
She knew what a thong was. Listen, she ain't got 7 children for not knowing what a thong was.
Listen, I'm telling you, I don't even think she knew what a thong was at the time when I was figuring out, when we was out, you listen.
I don't even think dental floss in your butt, folks.
Right, you got dental floss in the front, and not. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing though, the worst kind of thongs. Now, ladies, let me know what you all think on this. Those lace ones, I will never.
I've worn that once.
Please, with the lace.
Yeah.
No.
But like,
no.
For me,
no. My booty already be the Cookie Monster, just chopping them.
Ah!
Like that little man, that lace. It is put. I promise you, I want y'all, all the ladies that listen.
Is your booty the Cookie Monster?
Yep. Put on some lace thongs when it get 90 to 100 degrees next week. Go outside and then inbox me and let me know if you made it through or if you ended up in the ER. I swear, oh Lord, you'll end up in the ER. them laced them. Listen, they be at the all white party. Then she over there fainting. Y'all think she fainted from the heat? No. It's two reasons. It's that waist training, them thongs. She get
that waist training, no joke. That waist trainer is no joke.
I'm like, no.
I had to buy off, like, okay, so where I work at, like, I work in the warehouse. So I was on the lane working, doing my little stuff. And I was like, man, it's been now about 4 or 5. It's going on 5 hours. And I had this waist trainer on. I was like, man, pump this. I don't even have time to make it to the bathroom, girl. I unzipped, pulled out through my shirt.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of that, though. It's like, listen, it ain't even no time to be playing no games.
Like, I can't do this. I'm too fat for this mess. Some things I just got to let go and just got to breathe. I can't do
like,
this.
It ain't even about being big or anything. I'm like, listen, wearing them, listen, I don't have my little sweatbands. I'm like, listen, no, what we not gonna be doing is doing all that. So you all listen, just take care of yourselves. But as far as that 13-year-old with that thong, it is a high no, and we're gonna keep it moving. But speaking of thongs and butts, guys, listen, our next hot topic, a young lady, she's dating, she's single, but she's dating. She's in a relationship. So she is considering getting a butt enhancement. Should she consult with her boyfriend, or is that strictly solo her own personal decision, or is that something that just should be discussed with a husband? Butt injection. She want to get the butt implants. Should she consult with her dude, or should that?
Is he paying for it?
No, it didn't say that. Just
if he ain't paying for it, then no, you can consult with him. No.
So he got to be paying for it.
Hell yeah, for him to have an input in it. Yeah, if you paying for this butt, I mean, because that's what I did when I got mine done.
So if he ain't got nothing on the bill, he don't got nothing to say. So my thing is this. I mean, just being who I am, I talk, I like, it's definitely, if it's something that I'm thinking about doing, it's definitely going to come up in conversation. I don't know if I would, it's coming up for permission, because you really don't need that, but I would want to see what his thoughts is about something like that. But guys, what do you all think? Should she consult with her dude before getting butt implants? Is that something that she should consult with him with, or is that just her own personal decision? Or if it just depends on, listen, if it's her husband, then she should definitely talk to him. But if it's just something that she's doing, then no, she does not have to consult with him. She should just be able to go ahead and do it on her own. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Now, speaking of the butt implants, ladies, sisters, come on. Man, what y'all doing? Like, what y'all doing? It was on the news last week. Like, they all coming on a flight from the Dominican Republic. Like, what y'all doing?
I mean, I don't mind, because I don't mind working on your post, because I have to do your post massages and everything and get all that, do the lymphatic drainage. I don't mind on that aspect, but just to see the clients, like, you just
figured, I mean,
stuff is stuck. You got to get new nipples, because they gonna cut your nipples. That's just regardless. And then they gonna cut, because you ain't going to just stop at the butt. And yeah, your butt gonna be leaking stuff. So that's just disgusting in itself.
It's just like,
and then once all that's leaking, then you got your drains down here that's leaking, and you gonna just, you just can't stop. So, and they're gonna do a one-stop, chop shop on you, and they're gonna pull this up and inflate up in here, and then take the little the long thing to suck out some fat out your sides. There, it's just too much. It's just too much.
Sisters, I mean, like, when did we? I really want to know, like, when did this become something that we as American African women have started to do? When is this something that we have? Like,
some goofy done put it in a video and they said, "Oh, I want my body to look like that."
I just don't understand. Like, if you want that, I'm gonna tell you what you can do. Our sister Fantasia said it best. Listen, you better eat you some greens and some cornbread and some fried chicken.
Listen,
okay? You gonna listen. Okay, you want them thighs like that? Give it about 6 months. was eating all that fast food, baby. Listen, eat the fast food and then do you some scrunches so it don't sit there in your stomach. Do you some scrunches. I promise you, before then, listen, you gonna be tight and right. But to go and put your body through all, I mean, like they're mutating, like you don't,
because they looking at the after. They're not looking at the downtime. They're not looking at the recovery. They're looking at the after, and they'll deal with it because it's just a few
but it's
weeks
like
of
they're not even
recovery.
going to reputable doctors. Like they're literally going to the bootleg man to get these surgeries done, and you don't know what the heck it is that they're putting in your butt. You don't know what I mean, to see their butts. I mean, oh my God, to be deflated. For those that body just rejects whatever crap that these people are putting in them, to see the after effects of that, it's like now you're gonna have to have surgery. You're gonna have to go to the real doctor to get a reconstructive surgery did to undo the crap that when you was fine beforehand. What do you want a size 6 waist for? And then a size 40 double D butt? What you want that for? Like, I mean, do you know what kind of back problems you about to have?
I know, because it's heavy. It's heavy.
You can't even doggone it fit your clothes. What kind of clothes are you wearing with that's like an unrealistic, this not even a realistic body shape. Like, it is beyond ridiculous. So ladies, like, we definitely have to do better. You gotta love yourselves. Turn them doggone videos off. Listen, I know some of you are up in the 30 plus age range. I want this to sit up. Listen, you should have thought about all that before the kids, okay? So it's just like, it is what it is. You can do a couple of scrunches, do some arm lifts and all this and that. Whatever don't get corrected naturally, let it go. But injecting yourselves and subjecting your body and your mental state to go through all of these, because those are traumatic experiences. It's like, you see all of this crap. Like, they tried to post the video in the group where a young lady was at her therapist getting the lymphatic drainage process. So she had that whole thing posted, and I'm like, okay, it just wasn't appropriate to approve for the group. But I look and I'm looking at the young lady and I'm just like, is it that serious?
Baby,
I'm like,
serious.
She was like a size 4, size 6, and she had all. I'm like, first of all, let you get one good winter of a nice little coat of ice out there in the Chicago winter, and you fall as thin as your lip. You
hurt
done.
yourself.
So now then what you gonna do? Because all that ain't real is gonna slide right on it. Now you're gonna have one booty cheek in your front because you done dislocated that little hip, the real hip. Listen, you getting all of that stuff. Your body is not even, your skeletal muscle is not even big enough to hold all that crap.
To me, it's disgusting. I'll watch, like I said, I have fun to got it done and stuff, and just to work on people with it. I mean, knock yourself out, but the recovery time, after having a C-section, that was not fun for me. So I just can't let you cut on me, because I want, a bigger butt or whatever. I don't need a bigger butt. But if you really want a bigger butt, and without having them to cut on you, all you gotta do is some squats. It's so easy to just do some squats. And then
who are you doing it for? Like, who are y'all? Can somebody answer me this? Who are y'all getting those big, humongous butts for? I mean, because to my knowledge, the fellas don't like it because they say they feel hard. I mean, it's
that's
nice.
The fake ones, but they got the ones that they do the injections. They got the fat transfers too now too.
Yeah, but if it get infected, then it's still, now it's like, it's because I know somebody that got had it done, and it gets hard.
It's a different type of. Well, I know when
they had the fat transfer, but it was hard, and it's just like
I've felt the insert. Now that's a strange type of feeling because it feels like it's a balloon or something underneath the skin. It's really, it's fake. It's like you touched it and you like, and I had jumped at first when I was doing her massage because I was like, wait a minute, this ain't real. I was like, oh my goodness, because it was like I ain't never felt nothing like that. It just feels So it feels like it's a water balloon underneath for the skin or
So
something.
now you know if it felt different to you,
Yeah,
know that
it
the
felt-
fellas
yeah.
ain't gonna be able to enjoy it because they trying to.
She did
get
it for
they-
her guy, I guess. She was skinny and stuff, and she just, I guess she ain't never had no butt.
And then they break up,
And
and now you stuck with that mess.
They was, they married. I don't know. I think they were married, but yeah, she had her little booty, her little fake booty, and no one warned me. So I was expecting, a warning, and when I touched, I was like,
And you guys got to understand, it's so many different health challenges that come as a result of this. And you know what you all have to realize too, also with these breast implants, let me tell you, when you going and getting a mammogram, because I've talked to these mammogram technicians and I'm just like, okay, you know what are they doing as far as how does this work? So I asked them and I'm just like, okay, how does this work when they come to get these doggone implants and they're going for their mammograms? How does that work? How does that work? Like, are you able to easily do a mammogram? Because for women that have never had a mammogram, let me tell you, they will take your theta and they stretch it like this and they pull it like that and then they clamp it down. It's like they slam your theta in a door. That's exactly what it seemed like they're doing. They slam it in a door and they slam it and they just keep the door closed for like an hour. It feel like an hour, but when they done, you just like, I just want to live right. I don't want to do. And then they take it and they flip you upside down and then they pull it again. They slam it in the door again. So now I say, I know how this feel for real, Tata. I say, so now how y'all do that with the silicone and all that other stuff? Because you've done a lot. I mean, can you do they burst? I said, because here's the thing, you're doing some serious flattening. It's just like they doing like this. Just. I said, do you excuse me, you do know that's real, right? And you do know that hurts. Don't sit up here and have a conversation with me. Just listen. Just do, like she said off The Color Purple, just do your business and get up off of me. Just do your business and leave me alone. So please just do your business. But ladies, come on, it's not that serious. Like, you have to love yourself and you have to be confident and comfortable in your own skin. Stop getting all these crazy enhancements and then you mess around and you sick. Now you giving yourself a condition that you didn't even have to have if you would just be comfortable in who you are and being comfortable in your own skin. So definitely be mindful and be careful about that. But butt implants, if you dating somebody, I mean, my thing is I will run them by him, no harm, no foul. But the ultimate decision is definitely the person who's getting the enhancements done. So guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to cover. So please stay tuned. You don't want to miss it because you're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Loving you has always been easy because it's true. I would not believe if someone would have told me you would come along to reveal my soul. Cause I was knowing love, my heart had grown cold. So cold. You had good energy, exactly what I needed. You walked in my life and placed the joy where was needed. Not a mirage, what I feel for you. Put that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Oh yeah. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you has always been wonderful, more than you'll ever know. We got good chemistry, go together like love sex. The passion and care we show one another tops all the rest. The feelings I have for you, I ain't felt in so long. What we share together, baby, the bond is so strong. It's no facade of what I feel for you, love. But that, oh God, I got love for you, yeah. Said it's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy, baby. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy, baby. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy. So easy to love. Easy to love you. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you, yeah, is what I search my life to do. Yeah.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and
family.
One conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey, how you doing? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I know. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. You all, unfortunately, I don't have anything to blame my behavior on. It's just you know what? Yes, I do. So, unfortunately, before the show started, I had a nice cup of coffee, iced coffee, sitting here in my space, minding its own business. But then somebody came and knocked the coffee on the floor. And now I have to be tortured by the aroma of the coffee that was waste on the floor. And I didn't get a chance to enjoy it. And this was like my first cup of coffee after like quite some time. And I'm just like, what is going on? So, I got my little couple of dollars back, but I think I'm entitled to pain and suffering for having to watch that. Thank you. Do you know how I felt watching a whole cup of coffee spill to the floor? I'm like, oh my God. So I need my pain and suffering from the producer. I'm just going to say, and I will be tagging him if he don't give me my pain and suffering before I leave. I will be tagging him, and you all can tell him what y'all think about him knocking my coffee over and then don't want to give me pain and suffering for it. But guys, listen, please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Lord. You all tell me, what do you all think about this? So, in a marriage, should you co-sign on a car or personal loan for your spouse, no matter how irresponsible they are? Are you entitled? Are you obligated to co-sign for said irresponsible spouse? So listen, they done messed they Smith up, okay? So now you want to get on my good stuff and mess my Smith up. Am I obligated to let you get your behind on mess up my good name? Are you obligated to have to co-sign for your spouse?
That's why I'm married to Casper now, because Casper, hey baby.
So would you co-sign? Are you obligated to co-sign?
Morris said no.
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 But it's your spouse. It's your spouse.
No.
It's your spouse, for better or for worse. To death do us
And
part.
nowhere in there said co-sign. It don't say that in
But it said for better or for worse.
No,
you are as one. Your twain has become one.
That's our monkey Gucci parts, our dingling parts and stuff. No, that's what comes one. Our bank accounts and our co-signing papers and our credit. No. We ain't even got to file our taxes together just because we married. You know that? We ain't gonna do that.
Lord have mercy.
We ain't gonna do that.
Guys, listen, if you want to weigh in on our topic tonight, call in 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. Listen, okay, like Morris said, no.
Why you ain't gonna do it, Jay?
No. First of all, my credit is too good. I am not. I have been through the struggle
Don't be like that, Jay.
of having bad credit, and I've worked so hard and tight. I just worked hard and sacrificed to get my credit in a great place. And I'd be doggone if I let somebody mess my credit up. So what I'm willing to do, I'm gonna show you how to rebuild. But here's my thing. Ain't no sense in us both struggling. Like, I just cannot do it. I just don't think that that's a wise, not only personal move, but it's not a wise business move. I'm like, okay, we got to understand that we got to strategically work with what we got going on. And you messing my credit up and you being a liability to our family is not going to help us at all. And if you really think about it logically, it's not helping us. So for me to co-sign, you want an exotic, an expensive car, and you need me to co-sign?
Yes.
I suggest you go to the economy class where your credit by yourself can, afford. You need to go to the type of car that you can afford on your own. You don't need to be in the I'm over here in the luxury range and you over here in the economy class. Well, you, sir, that's where your credit has put you, in the economy range. So that's where we're going to go. And
but
you
y'all
know
are
what?
one.
And that's what I was just about to say. I will address that. So just for the sake, I'm willing to do this because I'm riding with him because that's my husband. I'm willing to get an economy car with you, but I'm not co-signing.
But he's having a midlife crisis and he wants that good old, sports luxury car that's like he wants a Hellcat. That's what I really want.
Okay, so when he fixes his
it's
credit,
only $118,000.
okay, when he fixes his credit and they approve him to get that said car on his own, then knock yourself out. But again,
but you gotta get credit.
Yeah.
So we gotta get credit together.
And we're gonna need somewhere to stay. And according to what your credit is working with, we're gonna be living in the slumps. And I'm not doing it.
Don't
so
be like that, baby.
Therefore, we're gonna work on mine is gonna be the primary while we work on getting yours together. But again, that's why it's so important. People don't listen, we get all caught up in hanging off the chandeliers and baby. We get all caught up in the sex and all this. Listen, all that is important and it's fine and dandy. But here's the thing. When you sit down before them bankers, they don't care how good your sex life is. They don't care they don't care about your 67s or your 65. They don't care about none of that. All they want to know is what your credit score is, what your paying history is. They don't care about none of that. So what I'm saying is it's separate. You got to understand, the sex part, that's important, but to be financially compatible, that's just as important, if not even. I think, what do you guys think is the sexual compatibility or the financial compatibility? What do you all think is more important, or are they equal? I think I'm going to have to say the finances a little bit more because you don't spend most of your time in the bedroom. Listen.
But you want your finances straight. But listen, I don't sit up here. I can't sit up here and be spending, 20, 30 years trying to teach you how to eat my monkey right. I just can't do all that now.
I'd rather spend 20, 30 years teaching you how to do that than us sitting.
I'm not going to spend 20, 30 years on teach you how to do the finance. I'm going to tell you, listen, you better get the dude. If you got to get you 10 jobs to get this together, you're going to do this. And we're going to do this in 1 week. It's all these places is hiring. Don't tell me you can't walk up the street and get hired in 5 seconds. I know you can. So we gonna do this. I can't even date you anyway if you ain't got a job and no type of income coming in.
What I'm
But
saying,
if
I'm
your
not.
stuff is jacked up, dude, you want to get you another job to take care of your main bills, and then you're gonna get you another job to take care of all this jacked up past stuff that you got to deal with. And then if you can't do that,
I'm gonna be mad. See, right there, and at this point, our sex life won't even matter because we don't have no money. We're poor, so I got an attitude. So I'm not even horny. I don't feel like doing the horizontal mambo because we're struggling.
So bad, I just
can't. I'm not hot and bothered.
But that's like the
romantic.
Question. That's like the question. People say, well, should he be dating or should she be dating when they're broke? You shouldn't be like, if you don't have, if your stuff is all jacked up and you do need a sexual release. You can buy a toy, jack yourself off, play with your little coo, whatever. You'll get what you need to get to. But this person right here, read Morris's.
Morris is saying church, and then he goes on to say, actually, that's more important than anything. That's FEO. Morris, break down to us so we can explain to everybody what does that mean. He said meant that's from experience. If you're not on the same page as far as financials, the relationship is doomed.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because again, you could have a saver and a spender. Again, somebody that's with jacked up credit. How do we move forward? So you got to be on the same page, and you got to have that conversation beforehand. Because again, if they got bad credit, listen, while you dating and y'all know that y'all gonna move forward, let's start working on that issue now, because before we come together, you gotta have your stuff together. Because again, how are we gonna move forward? We can't move forward as a unit when your ish ain't in order. So again, all the blinders and all that, all that,
I don't know. Hey, D Travel, that's all the way from Africa. Hey, D Travel.
Hey, D Traveling. Hey, pretty Barbie.
But that right there, I don't know if it's young. It's not even an age group, because you can be stupid at whatever age that you are. But I just can't. The sex, I need to be sexually compatible with you. Yes. But like you say, with the finances, you have to have, oh my God, it has to be something that you have to be smart somewhere in your finances. And if you're not, then that means if you're a hard worker, bet, and you're not smart, like you said, someone's got to be the stronger person. I will handle your finances and ration you out your little allowance or whatever. And then we're going to take care and put all the other stuff right over here. Now I'll let you see, baby, this is where all your little money going to. But look at that. Look, you done saved $5 this week. Look at that.
You know what? And some people like to be, and then when we get a chance, can you read some of those comments from Instagram? Hey, guys over there. It's like we get so caught up in trying to look the part and trying to look like we got money and all this and that other stuff. And I'm telling you, I know somebody that was like that. Like every paycheck, he just was trying to keep up with all of his friends that had better jobs than he did. But you know what? You couldn't afford to live that type of lifestyle. So stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. And you rich clothes wise, you got the latest designs and stuff, but all the money that you have is in your pockets.
Martin West, girl, he gonna get, I don't know, he gotta get handled up in this piece.
What'd he say?
Martin West says, only women think about all that men. Think about that. All men always get with bum girls, and we work with them. Only women believe a man should have everything to be with them.
Well, Martin, sorry that you feel that.
That means you messing with these bum ass girls. You like that. You like these bum ass girls because you might be a bum ass dude. So I'm just saying, y'all might be y'all opposites or y'all positives, y'all similarities attract one another. And you might have some bum ass sex too, some bum ass sex, not some bomb ass sex. There's a difference. You might have a bum ass bank account as well. So if you're attracting these bum ass chicks, you might need to check yourself to make sure that you're not a bum ass dude.
And then if you were listening to the conversation, we did not say this just applied to men. Not one time did we say, oh, don't get with a dude that can. We're talking about in general. When you are coupling, when
females
you are
and men,
thinking
both
about
together,
getting married, we did not one time did we single out
men.
Men. We said credit. We're talking about a person with bad credit. So if you, whatever you are, if you both them in one day you feel like
today, you might feel like a nut. Tomorrow you might feel like a coot.
And listen, whatever they are, if they got bad credit and you don't, leave them over there. It don't matter. Listen, we're talking to everybody. Whatever you feel like, whatever. If your credit is messed up, hey, leave them over there. If they ain't got two nickels to rub together, leave them over there. Now, some people will say, listen, my man, I picked him up when he had nothing and we worked together because he was willing and he
wanted to.
Everybody,
and the same thing with her. She may not have. She was willing to. She wanted to mature and be like, you know, I'm tired of this. Let me try this now.
And then they won't ask you to co-sign.
They won't, because they're
gonna ask you to help me.
Can you help me get to where I gotta get to? Can you show me whatever? Over here on Instagram, we got Funzy 328. That must be your buddy.
Hey, that's my hey Nene. That's
Nene. But this problem occurs before sex. So when does the ignorance end? And then she says most Black families don't know how or have financial knowledge.
Exactly, which is why, again, we definitely have to have those conversations, because a lot of times, as she said, we're brought up, we're taught to spend. We're not taught to save and invest in things of that nature. And we're definitely going to have another financial segment, so we can have some real estate investors come in, and we can have some real estate people and some banking people and some people that's in stocks, and we can do some financial literacy, on the show, because that's so important. And it's just a huge part that is missing that we don't often get. So it's so important. So again, the sex is all fine. Baby, it's all fine and dandy. But when you're talking about co-signing, listen, and they issues already jacked up and they not trying to fix it, I don't think it's a good move. Spouse or not, you should not be co-signing on a car or anything. Listen, I co-signed on a car for somebody. This was years ago. And so we made an agreement. So they had the car. And so the agreement was that if they ever got, first of all, when I co-signed, I got the car was in my name, and they had control of the car. But the agreement was that if they ever got in position where they were not able to pay the car note, or they came to some type of hiccup, it doesn't matter how long you had the car, how long you've been paying on it, they would give me the car and I will resume the payments from that point, and we will walk away free and clear. And I got the car. It was something that I was able to, so I was kind of forward thinking about if things went wrong. Okay, so it's all fun and dandy now. But 1 year, 2 years down the road, 3 years, you don't know what's going to happen. The funk hit the fan. Then you're stuck with this bill. Can you afford it? And that's what we went to the table thinking about. Okay, if worst come to worst and you had to take on this car, would you be able to afford this car note? And that's how we chose the car that I would, get in my name. And sure enough, 3 years, it was like 3 years down the line, there was an emergency struck. They were no longer able to take on the car. So guess what? True to form, they gave me the car. I resumed the payment. I had like less than a year left to pay on it. I got the car free and clear. They paid the car for 3 years. I got the car. My car, we didn't go into, it was no court battle. It was no art, because we had already established what would happen in the event that something like this did happen. Now, would I do that again? No. Would I recommend doing it? No, because people are not like that anymore. You don't find people will jack your stuff up. Don't tell you that they having problems. Don't tell you that, they can't pay it until the collectors are starting to call and all this and that. And you don't want to take that chance. I was young and it was helping me. Again, that was another reason why I did it, because it was a benefit to me, because I already owned my car, but to have another car financed in my name that I wasn't paying for, that was helping me build my credit. So it was a lot of different reasons that went behind me making that decision to get the car in my name. But again, that was a risk. It was a gamble. It wasn't something that, no. This is business. This is business. What are they saying?
I'm cracking up because I had to go. When people tick me off, I had to go see who you are. So Martin West, I know him. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know Martin West. And I just kicked it with them in the last. My brother should have warned you about me. Now, see, you came on here acting a fool and stuff. Now, I done got you got your little ass whooped and everything.
Well, he said something. He has another comment.
Oh,
so
he got
maybe he coming back from.
Oh, he coming
he
back from me.
Back, he
yeah, that's stand up person.
now.
Oh, wait a minute.
But again, if you're gonna co-sign, I wouldn't do that. So he comes back and said, "That's a stand-up person. You won't find that kind of person nowadays. I lived through the cell phone bills in the 90s. Absolutely. These people today are no. It's like people lack integrity. We lack morals. I can't with him.
He said, I ain't scared.
It's like people, like Martin said, people are not built like that anymore. It's like we don't honor our word. It's like it's just so much backstabbing. It's like you don't know nowadays. It's like, okay, they could try to get something in your name to run your name down because they know that you got good credit and just all kinds of things. But what you want to do is also with your young kids and these young people that's coming up, teach them whatever you made mistakes on and your credit and all that. Teach them so that when they get out there, they won't have the same struggles that you had. Like I talked to my son and I've trained him and given him so much financial knowledge that he's able to make these wise decisions. Don't do the dumb. My yellow thing is sticking out. Oh, geez.
That's a hair right here on the mic.
Oh, you know what? You see how she do? I'm not even gonna have an ADHD moment. I'm just not, you all. But she over here picking with me saying this stuff on the mic. She said there's little pubic hairs on the mic. I don't know what they've been up in here. I don't know what they've been up in here doing.
Your coffee got knocked
right,
over.
Knocked over. Ow, baby. But again, guys, if you're thinking of co-signing, don't. But if you do, make sure you have some signed promissory notes, and you even when it being with a spouse, unfortunately, I don't think that there's much leeway. So promissory, because you guys are as one, so that's your dad. Either way it go. But if you're financing or co-signing outside of marriage, be very careful. Do not do it. That's just don't do it. But if you decide to do it, don't do it out of the gushy place in your heart.
Bump that, close that all up. Think with your mind. Think rationally.
Do it set it up as a business deal. Don't go into it with I lie. No, because let me tell you, when you go down to get your financing, they don't care about all that love. They're gonna say, what's love got to do with this? This issue's yours. You 3 months behind, and we want our money. I love her. We want our money.
Exactly.
I love him. We want our money. So, unfortunately, y'all the only two that care about how much love y'all got for each other. These bill collectors do not.
And he says, Martin says, yes, if you have kids, your mistakes should not be the ones your kids are making. Meaning, come on now, if you got children out here and you're doing the same dumb things that your children are now 20-something years old and they're doing the dumb. When they're 20-something, you're supposed to mess up. This is your 20s. You're supposed to mess up. But when you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, and you're doing the same exact thing that the 20-year-olds are doing, come on now, you have not learned. Did you not live in your 20s and make those mistakes and stuff? And if you did, you should have learned from those mistakes.
And stop putting just because you done messed your stuff up, stop putting these utilities in your kids' name. Oh, my Lord.
I've seen it. I used to watch television and see, people doing that on television. I never thought it was real because my mother never did that to us, And then I had a friend. Well, this little hair is just bothering me.
Rico is 2 years old, and he got a $500 Xfinity bill in his name. That should not be.
Because Rico, he watched the TV.
He too.
He watched the TV. That's
he too.
But he watches it.
And he got. And
what I don't like is that these companies, though. Now as I give you, this person gave you the social, they gave you the date of birth, and you still. Even if you just got the social, not the date of birth, you can run that social and see that, this person was not born in 1975. This person was born in 2022.
And they can tell by the social number, too, that I think now, I haven't heard about it so much now in today's But back in the 80s, baby, they was running, honey, they was running through these kids' light bills. They names lights and gas bills. By the time they got out on their own, they moved. They couldn't get no services because they mom and they daddy had done ran their names up.
That's so crazy.
And I'm just like, man, that's like just seeing all of that stuff, just growing up. That was just one thing that I'm like, I would not
never
do that. I was like, I don't want to be that parent to do that. So I'm like, Lord, oh, please bless me to just get my mind right so I can just not be that parent, because I'm like, man, now you messed them up. Now they stuck. Now they can't move forward because you done messed them up. But again, I understand on one hand, because back in the day, that 80s, that was just a whole different ball game when you had all of these kids and, you know, the laws were not what they are today, whereas you can't get they can't shut the utilities off in the wintertime, whereas back in the 80s, baby, they were shutting you. Listen,
it all depends on now where you live at, because out there where I live at, honey,
they can shut it off.
Hell yeah!
Oh wow!
Girl, they will shut your stuff off. They will put you. They do not care. Live out there in Indiana.
Out here, so they can't shut your stuff off until like the springtime. So you know, but again, back in the 80s, baby, they was cutting your stuff. You late? You sitting up there watching. What was the little cartoon? Hey, and then you hear that, and then all the lights go off. You like, what happened to the TV? No, baby, not only what happened to the TV, all the lights are off. Now you got to steal the lights from your neighbors. So touch your neighbor and say amen, amen again. So no, we not going.
Martin West said he was terrible, but never like that. He used to make up Social Security numbers. Now I didn't make up. I did put I put a bill in somebody's name. I couldn't stand it. I just happened to have it social. And I was like, you know what? I need this cable right now.
Right now.
I'm like, he's my brother, but he's a little slow. And so Lord knows I ain't got no disabled brother, but I sure had one that day, and I sure had his social. I was like, here you go. It's date of birth for everything. I'm gonna put him on the phone. You know, I fake my voice and stuff. And they was like, okay, you authorized? I sure do.
Oh my goodness! No.
He said that he stole cable till they couldn't change the box.
Oh man, back in the day, them burnout boxes, baby. Okay, listen. Pay $40, you got cable for like 6 months. Then you got, listen, that was a good investment though. But you know what? You did what you had to do. It's like
that internet, this messed up everything, because you could buy your, a cable box from your boy and everything, and you have every channel imaginable. I'll be like, bet now.
You know what this?
Look at this ashy foot.
Now all these restrictions and all, I'm just like.
I remember like one of my neighbors, they used to, the water used to get cut off. And so I used to sit there because my mom had a shelter to a lot of things. So a lot of things I just wasn't privy to. And so I would sit back and watch. And when the water company would leave, they would go and they would have this big old long tool. Mm-hmm. And they would go and be like, oh, I'm about to just shut the water back on. I'm like, but how do they just let, my little, shut up, Edra. I'm like, oh, okay.
And that's why I say we should never be without, because it's too many. Listen,
you can find a good crackhead to turn the stuff on for you there,
baby.
In Illinois, I think they would put the little paper clip things or safety pins on your little electric box or whatever. Take the little safety pin off. Now, if you get shot, get you a little good crackhead to flick that little switch. It's just a little light switch. Flick it back on.
They got so many ways to undo all of this stuff. So again, you got to teach your kids. And if you are an adult that is not really on the up and up financially, I always say this: at tax time, stop buying them TVs and stop buying all these games and stuff, and start fixing on your credit. I mean, you start by disputing the stuff. A lot of this stuff, people will find out it's like in 30 days, if these people don't respond to you, then they have to automatically take that stuff off of your credit. Is it going to be some research and you got to do what you have to, do a lot of leg work? Yeah, you do. But guess what? You did the leg work to mess it up. So you got to do what you have to do to resolve it. And then there's also reputable credit repair people out there. So if you definitely need a credit repair, you can definitely go to Fig Leaf .com, because that's, she's a good friend of the J Spot, so she definitely does reputable credit repair. But again, guys, we're going to definitely have a show on that has some credit repair people and just help us to get it together financially. Let that be our goal going into 2022, fixing up our credit and teaching our kids on how to be, better financially. But again, that co-signing ish, no. Leave the TV on? No. Co-sign form? No. Guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to cover, so you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
I get so lonely, can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever wanna spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling, my body's calling. I got downtime, hard time. This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. If you got a secret ease, any call in my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby. We can turn it up. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Imagine all I could. Anticipating is about to go down. I get so lonely. Don't leave me waiting for you. I get so lonely. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, cause I get so
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, Sexy Simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey, E, how's it going?
I'm gonna whoop your ass over.
That's not how it's going.
It's going great. Yes.
Guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for joining us. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled Jaye. All three. If you want to talk to us tonight or just tell us hi, you want to send us coffee or donuts or anything, feel free to call in 708-223-8953. Again, our number is 708-223-8953. Now, guys, listen. Our next hot topic. Now, this is a little bit controversial, and I know some people about to get in their feelings. I'm already expecting it, and I'm looking forward to it. So, in a marriage, does the husband have a right, have a say so if his wife should keep the baby or not? Or is it her body, her choice? Does he have a say? Does the husband have a say on if the wife should proceed with the pregnancy, or is it solely her choice because it's her body? We're not talking about baby daddies and baby mamas. We're talking about husbands and wives. But even, I mean, if y'all want to open it up to baby mamas and baby daddies, listen. Let's put it like this. Do a man have a right to tell a woman if she should keep the baby or if she should terminate it? Or is it her right? It's her body, her right. What do you think about that? What do you all think about that? Should the man have some type of say so, because he will be responsible for this child. So should he have some type of say so? What do you all thought? E, what's your thought?
Yes, that's it. That's half his. Y'all both went half on the baby that night.
So what if he say he don't want it? How is that resolved?
Well, if you just don't want it, then that's not my problem. I'm sorry, dude, but if I don't feel like terminating and you don't want it, well, we'll see each other in child support court.
And it's like, it's so, I feel like it's very easy for some men to say, you know what, terminate it, because they're not going through it.
Yeah.
It's nothing that they have to physically, or even emotionally, or even spiritually, mentally. You don't have to deal with any of that. So it's so easy to be so cavalier about it, because you can act like it never happened. But a lot of times she can't act like that, because she knows that it's something that she did. She made the decision. She laid up or stood up or, slid through the machine, whatever it is that they do. She made that decision. So ultimately, she's going to be the one that has to pay that price. And what price is that? The emotional price, the mental price, the psychological price, the spiritual price. She has to pay that price, and she alone, because, she's the one that did it. So I think that in situations like that, you got to be so mindful, because, again, yeah, you may not want the baby, but it's something bigger at stake there. What are they saying? Because I see, Martin, you're saying that's where the problem starts, when one doesn't agree, but he should speak his piece, and then he has to support her with her decision. And then Pretty Barbie says, if he say he don't want the baby, then he should have never got in the bed to make a baby. And those are both valid points. And again, definitely, I love hearing from the men on subjects like this, because, again, it's not coming from from a feminist standpoint, not coming from that standpoint, but I just want to come from the overall standpoint on how much is really at stake, that I don't think some men, and I'm saying some because not all men are like that. Some men are very in tune with their wives. They're very in tune with their partners, and they feel comfortable with discussing how they feel. But at the same time, they're like, you know what? I understand how you feel. So we're both in this together. So ultimately, whatever you decide, I'm going to support you wholeheartedly. No grudges, no none of that, because we're in this together. Where are those men? Because those are the men that's the type of attitude you have to have in a situation like this, because essentially at the end of the day, it is her decision. But it would be so much easier and so much better if you guys could be on one accord to make that decision, because I'm sure no woman wants to sit up here and have a baby and knowing good and well that the man don't want it. I mean, it's like already it's problem. How could you let yourself get pregnant? Wait a minute. And I said, here we go with this. Let yourself.
That's the stuff that I've never understood when people have, I've heard that crap, well, she let herself, we both was screwing.
Exactly.
You didn't put a comment. No, I did cut the hole out the comment at one time, but that's neither here nor there. But but we both was screwing, and well, yeah, I did stay on the penis when he said it at the time. But that's neither here nor there either. That other time, that other time, now you felt so okey doke and thought that because I said I want Aubrey. Now that's not my fault. Now, that was you. That was all on you. Could have pulled up, but you didn't. You didn't do that. You didn't want to. Nope. So I'm just saying.
And they have, listen, you have these little heat of the moment babies, and then it's just like, okay, listen, y'all just got to take one for the team, because you know what? You wasn't doing nothing to prevent it, and he was. So both of you, and that's the part that I'm like, if I can't leave any other message out there, it's like we're equally responsible. I'm no more responsible than he is. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to have to bear the brunt of it because it's my body. But I didn't get here alone. I didn't get here. I mean, listen, it's plenty of things creatively that she can do to handle that. And she won't be, if she would have kept her legs closed, she can open her legs. Again, I said, we've showed how you open your legs, and look, I'm not pregnant.
I was asleep.
And if there's no visitors coming through the common area, then there's no babies. So you got to have some company. You got to have some visitors to make the baby. So it's just like when
visiting you last night, make a baby.
Listen, these babies, these visitors, this equal responsibility, it's crazy. So I always say, you know what, in this day and age, people perceptions and their mindset and their thoughts and their feelings are just really different about things. So make sure you kind of like filling out who you out here sleeping with. Find out what their thoughts are on, you know what, listen, you have at the 30 plus age range, I don't really think that there's any oops babies. So I'm going to say you have in a heat of the moment type baby. Make sure you know how each of you feel about that. Like, kind of, again, these are conversations that we don't have beforehand, because if you know that you're dealing with somebody that are not really kid friendly and they don't want no kids, you need to be doing
what you want to do as far as letting that go.
Y'all need to be doing.
I need to have a conversation.
Everything possible to prevent that from happening, because again, that, listen, you both don't want kids, but you're not doing nothing to prevent that. So it's like, can you say, and then a lot of times, so often the guys, how you get pregnant?
You stuck your winky wonk inside of my hoo-ha, and then voila, you said,
now here you go.
Right?
Now, right.
Sprinkle
So now here you are. So it's just like, let's be proactive. Let's prevent those type of situations, because nobody got time to be sitting up here having these type of situations occur, where you're married and your husband don't want the baby. Like, I mean, I could not even imagine going through something like that. You married, now you stuck, now he walking around, got rocks in his jaws, he don't want the baby, or even, again,
see, that's what we have to have. We should have had a conversation about this, and then that would have let me know where to proceed in the relationship. I'm so glad the tubes is tied.
Yeah, because I mean, that's a big situation, because it's like she gets pregnant, and then
if you got pregnant, you get married, like next year. And your husband say, Jay, I really don't want to have children.
Right. I mean, but we're gonna both be on the same page, because I'm done.
I know you.
No, I don't want any more kids.
But say you get pregnant.
Say
you get pregnant.
Man, I would.
This is gonna be wonderful.
I would be crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying, and and for real, I know I would go into a deep depression. I would go into, and it wouldn't even be postpartum. I don't know if there's a prepartum depression, because I'm like, I'm done. Like, my son is graduating from college in December. What the heck?
Come on, Jay. People start over. I can see you.
Baby,
You look like the mother in time. I can see it. I can see it all. I can see you.
I would throw.
You'll be on sitting on the show, and then the baby be with you. Come on to the J spot. Woo! The baby like, yay, baby. Yay, baby.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, Lord knows. I mean, I wouldn't. It's just not a part of where I'm going, where I'm heading. I'm just
beautiful. I can see.
No, I already told you I would probably adopt like an 8 or 9-year-old because they got it together. Like, you know, they know how to tie their shoes. They know how to write their ABCs. They can go in there, fix them some cereal. They know how to wash up and take a bit.
I can see you with your belly poked out and just, you know, pregnant. And man, in your 30s plus.
Listen, if I didn't even make it 6 months with a dog, a puppy, and I took it back, what makes you think I'm gonna make it with a baby? And them suckers, you can't take them back. No, I'm good on the home. Like I say, people around me, they keep having babies. So, you know, if I want to hug and squeeze and kiss a little baby, it's always a plethora of babies being born around me. I myself, I'm done. But have that conversation, like the facility, you know, the fertility and all these are important conversations, just like talking about your money and your finances. You got to talk about family planning. And again, we don't talk about these things enough. We don't talk about it.
We get afraid of either if they say yay and I say nay, then it's a rejection somewhere. Right. Or, you know, you're afraid of this person leaving or whatever, or you're afraid of if this person knows about the truth of whatever, then they're going to not want me. Well, oh, hell, well, then they're just not the one for you.
Right.
You know,
and you shouldn't be afraid for them not to want you. You would rather know that up front.
Exactly.
Opposed to getting in that situation.
It's the fear of rejection.
And now you're having a kid that they don't want.
Yeah.
Now you put an innocent kid in the way to now they're going to have a hard life because that parent is going to reject. I mean, they may take care of them, but if they don't want them, they're not going to cleave to them and give them that love.
Especially when you get to the point where your children are grown, they have moved out the house, whatever, and now you're finally getting a chance to enjoy your adulting. You can truly adult and enjoy your money. And now you enjoying your money with your spouse or your boo or whatever. And the next thing you know, she talking about she pregnant. Oh, she's sick because she figured she about to go kick it, have some Mai Tais and lay up on the beach and stuff. You sick because now y'all got to start this process all over again. And then some people be like, you know what? We can't do this because I was in the clinic before and this one lady was there. She's like, oh, this is my 5th one.
What?
So she said, like, I'm scared. She was like, I just had a tummy tuck, and we have already. I think they had like 5 children already.
Oh, geez.
So
that's just her birth control.
Yeah, it was. She was like, I'm not about to go through it. I'm just thinking to myself, why couldn't you and your husband just, he could have poked you in the butt. I mean, something. I mean, you could have told him to shoot it in your mouth or something. Hit the bedboard or something. Put a condom on. Use the female condom. I don't know, but plastic wrap. Put a balloon on it. Something. But you rather let them come and suck it out you and everything else. So I was like, oh, okay. But that's another thing. Like, I can't do that. Like, I'm so thankful, and I pray that I never get a ectopic, whatever it's called, the tubular pregnancy.
Yeah.
But even if I do get that, you ain't gonna make it. You gonna go, dude.
Let me tell you, listen. If y'all ever see me on some crutches, just know what happened.
Jay, you fell skating? Well, let me touch the baby. Oh, after the baby.
Oh, I had a ski accident. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. If you ever see, listen, ain't nobody got time for all that. Like I say, I loved back in the day, but now that I see how it feels to not need a babysitter, not need
to go as you want to. Like, you can truly adult. And I love, I have 3 children. I love all 3 of them. But to know that now I literally only have 1 in my pocket.
You got options. Oh my God, you have so much. Now listen, you all, don't get me wrong, because I'm definitely a mental case, because my son is getting ready to go back to school in a couple of weeks. So, I'm not really, I'm talking trash now, but
she's gonna be doing that ugly cry.
Right. I feel my sadness coming on because I don't realistically, I know that he's going, my son's 23, like, but I'm just not ready though,
He's going right down the road. You're going to see him at the end of December.
I know, but when he comes back, he'll be moving into his own place. And it's just like,
that's going to be right down the road.
No, because he said he may not stay here. So
he moving out of state.
Okay. Listen, so he's like, he's he's doing his own thing and everything, so that's not gonna help, so I'm just definitely a whole mental basket case over here. So I talk a lot of crap, but he's not like, I didn't have to put him out, like we didn't have that crazy mad stuff, so like he's doing it the right way, like he's moving out and all of that. So it's always, it's hard, I think, for me like that. When I was coming up, listen, we hot to trot, and listen, we didn't want to obey and follow rules. You get
seasoning, didn't you?
I sure did. I'm like, I ain't never been to New Orleans. What this mean? But he's not like that. So that's what makes this, also bittersweet for me. But would I say, you know what? Let me get another one and start over? That's not going to happen, because again, just what they're teaching these little people in school, and oh my Lord, I just can't listen. They need a phone at 2 and they need an iPad at 4.
Martin West said, come on to the ATL, he gonna love it. Martin West said, come on to the ATL, he gonna love it.
Oh,
because y'all been having too much fun. I'm coming back down there with y'all.
You know what? I don't mean to be like that, but I've been to Atlanta twice, 2 or 3 times this year already. I don't like it.
We're there. We're at.
I didn't like it. He didn't like it when we went down there.
He has a nice, lovely place. I'm still trying to get into the pool because
they got nice places and stuff like that. But I just didn't. I didn't too much care for it. So, I don't know. I didn't care for it. I mean, I'll be going back there soon, but. Yeah, no, I didn't care for it. So I would definitely. And he hated it. He's like, he's not doing anything. He gonna be going with me to visit, but he ain't. He's like, no, he would not move down there. I wouldn't either. It's just it didn't do anything for me. But be mindful, and let's just have conversations about the future and have conversations about these things. Kind of be beforehand, and let's just do our best to be.
That should be a course in the high school, adult conversations. That should be a course, because you give these children math, you give them history, you give them all this stuff, but then you send them out in the world and you wonder why they make all these dumb decisions, whatever. But no one is giving them a lecture or a conversation at home and really learning the real world. I mean, you prepare them to get a job, really. You tell them to go to college, whatever, to learn something, and you send them out here, but you don't give them straight conversations about, listen, this is what life is like. They need to have that as a course called adult conversations,
and have the real conversations that are really affecting people. I mean, it's like we have all these pretty cookie cutter conversations, but we're not having the real conversations that will cause people to break up. What's causing people to break up? Money, sex, lying, cheating, some of them stealing, y'all stealing from, hey, it's a whole bunch of things that's causing people to break up. But you know what? We got to talk about these things, because it's like, if you don't talk about them, then guess what? You messing up, and your foundation is not going to be solid, because y'all didn't have those conversations. So she get pregnant. I didn't even know he didn't want no kids. He just told me. Did y'all talk about it beforehand? Nope. All they was talking about was, how many rounds can he go? How long can she last? What that mouth do? What this do? Hey, after all that's said and done, what you gonna do if, she come back and y'all got a baby on the way? Because it ain't just her got a baby on the way. You that baby pappy, and y'all got a baby on the way. Now, all of a sudden, now they want to get married. Well, it may not even be mine. Oh, well, isn't that convenient? And that burns my draws up. So you wasn't worried about a possibility of it being somebody else's when you was all up in there with no raincoat on. Now you want to talk, it may not even be mine. So if you thought that, but you was comfortable going up in there without no protection, you okay with that? See, I'm
I was
not
all
with
up in
all
her.
that. So it's just like,
I was
look,
in it.
that's like a big cop out, and it's like, does Dad say anything about her character? Listen, ladies, I'm like this. If you know you ain't been out there, don't be offended by anything like that. Don't be offended because you know that
She's
that's
for the
like a
streets.
common denial. That's a common excuse that's used to throw you off track, to make you doubt your loyalty and to make you doubt, well, I know I ain't been. Well, why would he say that? I guess I will give it. No, that's to get you emotional and get you all up in your feelings so that you can say, you know what? I don't even want to be dealing with all this. If he got me acting like that, I don't. That's not the reason that you should be keeping the baby no way for him. If you're gonna keep it because that's what you are deciding. You know what? If he stay or if he go, I'm still gonna be a mother. But fellas, listen, stop putting what if he stay or if he go, I'm still gonna be a mother. But fellas, listen, stop putting ladies in these positions because again, we want to blame each other. I'm not blaming nobody because both need to be more responsible and we both gotta do better. So let's just do better and let's stop putting each other in these positions. Now, our next hot topic is, does one's childhood have anything to do with their views on relationships and marriages?
Hell yeah.
How so?
Oh my God, because you got them ones that if the mama wasn't crap in the marriage or whatever, or growing up, or the daddy wasn't crap, then she gonna have, father issues and stuff, and he's gonna hate women. Oh my God, he's gonna treat women like crap, and then he's gonna get so used to the women that abuse him, and he don't realize that they're abusing him because he equates abuse with love and stuff, and so but then he turns around and abuses the woman that's good to him, and they don't know any better. So it's a whole mess. It is a mess.
And you all, we have it so hard in the American African
Like
community.
Kayan said, hell yeah.
Who said that?
K1, he said, hell
hey
yeah.
guys, hey Instagram, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's so hard. We have it so hard in the American African community because
The what?
yes, the American African. I don't claim this is right. I'm just passing through here. We have it so hard because we've been through so much growing up. We've been through so much. It's so much dysfunction. A lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us. It's been so much abuse, so much neglect, so much poverty, so much dysfunction, just so much violence, so much. So all of those things, our experiences in our childhood has definitely affected how we look at relationships, how we look at love. And listen, truth be told, some of us done got so messed up as a kid. We need to talk to somebody to help us unsort all of this crap, because a lot of bad, crazy stuff has been instilled in us, or not even, I wouldn't even say intentionally, but just a lot of dysfunction that we've seen growing up. And if we never see anything differently, then how do we know what to do is right? So we got to be more open to talking about it. If you witness some jacked up stuff, if you've experienced some jacked up stuff, and you know that now, if you've never talked about it, just know this: it is affecting you. It's affecting how you behave in your relationships. It's affecting your decisions that you make. You may say, Jay, that was 20 years ago. That was 30 years ago. I got over that. How did you get over it? Yes. Because if you've never talked about it, you haven't gotten over it. You're still playing it out and you're acting it out in some way, some shape, some form, some fashion in your relationship and in your marriage. And that's why a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages fail, because people have been abused growing up and they don't talk about it. That's both men and women. We don't talk about it because guess what? It's hard to talk about. It's hard to share your innermost you to people, and then they turn around and then they use that against you. I get it. It's hard, but we got to start talking about this, because if you don't talk about it, you're never going to heal from it. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to truly be free and be able to move forward. What did they say? I know they're saying something.
Martin says, it all depends on the type of person they are. Like my dad wasn't ish, so it showed me what not to be like. So it all depends. And that's true. You do have some people who they can look at themselves and be like, you know what, this person wasn't there for me, but I know that I cannot be like that. When I grow up and decide to have a family, I have to be the father that I didn't have, or the mother that I didn't have, whatever, or the mother that I wasn't, or the father that I wasn't. You have to be like that. But you have some that they don't see it. They still are stuck in the hurt child phase.
Exactly.
They can't get over what was done to them, the neglect or whatever the case may be. They just cannot get over that. So it's just like you just stuck.
And let's be honest, some of this stuff, especially, growing up, let's be real, growing up in the 70s and the 80s, listen, it was so much stuff going. Listen, the family secrets, God, that's enough to listen. These family secrets, you all, please, please, please be mindful. Watch your kids. Listen, it's so much stuff. It's
just sweeping into the carpet.
Molestation going on in the family. Your little uncle, your cock-eyed uncle that done had the stroke with the left hand, but he's still touching on the little kids with the right hand. Listen, I would have put a bullet in the left and the right hand, and now you ain't gonna have no hands. But that's just my take on it. But you gotta be careful for that. You gotta be careful for the auntie that's always wanting to kiss your little kids in the mouth. Ma'am, put your mouth. I got something for you to put your mouth on. Put your mouth on. See, we got to start talking about this stuff. We don't talk about it. We act like it don't exist, and then it keeps going on, generation to generation to generation, and now you got a whole line of generation of people that's messed up.
My guy was telling me about something like that. Like he had dated a woman who her family had that generational molestation, incest thing, and it was a norm. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, her mom and them, they knew about it. It was just the family secret, and like the cousins knew, and so she had wound up. He broke up with her, I guess, because when she told him when she told him her thing, she was sleeping with her cousins. Like it was no thing. The bro, and then he was like, wait, what? And so I think he said he had got up one night or whatever and walked down to go to the bathroom, and then he had seen her daughter and her son, and he was just like, I can't do this.
Lord,
this is some straight sick.
It's so.
It was just, but they was like,
it was normal, because it's like it's so yeah. It may seem like, oh man, that's far fetched. No, really,
no, that
not.
stuff is. It's a movie
real.
on. Well, I don't know if it's still on Tubi or whatever, but I know they have a page on Facebook. It's called Taboo. Now, when I saw that, I always go when I look at movies, I'll go look it up to see if this stuff is real or whatever. And it was talking about this sister and brother, and they had he was married. She was about to be engaged or whatever, and the brother had sent his wife to the store or whatever to get some tissue, whatever. He was like, "No, go to the store." And she's like, "I'm gonna go to this gas station." No, we out of tissue. Go to the store and go get us some tissue. We out of the tissue, whatever. And so she was like, "Okay," and she was like, "Huh, take so and so with you," which was her dude, the sister's guy. And so they went to the gas station, though, opposed to going to the store that's further away. And so when they had came back to the house, the brother and the sister was in the bed just getting it. And I was just like, and then when I went to the page and read the comments of people, one lady was like, this is my family. And she's out here in the south side of Chicago. She was like, this is my family. This is what goes on in my family and stuff. And I was just because I'm a product of incest. My brother, my father, and my mother are sister and brother. And I was just like,
oh my goodness. See, it's like it's so unfortunate, guys. So it's like, again, we have so much to be talking about, before, getting married. I mean, it's like, and you have to wonder why people act the way they do in relationships. And it's like, again, yes, you know what? People have been through certain things. And you know what? We can't always just dismiss people's experiences. Listen, if you haven't done that, it's so easy for me to have a cookie cutter answer for something that I've never
been through.
experienced.
Yeah.
Because I ain't never been through it. So I can easily look my nose down and say, how they doing that? You shouldn't do that. You should be able to. But guess what? If I haven't walked in their shoes,
Yeah.
it's just some stuff I'm just not gonna comment on because I don't know. It's not that I'm condoning it, but you know what? I'm not qualified to speak on that, and I'm gonna let it be because it's some sick, twisted ish that done happened that done got y'all thinking that this is okay.
Well, like Kiwan's he said that an old sick tradition slave masters put on us, and it does stem down from slavery. But then when you get to the age where okay, that this is incorrect, that's going on in my family, this is completely wrong, you should still, and we're in modern time, you should still be able to rationalize like this is not right. Let me be the one to speak out. You may hate me or whatever as my mother, my sister, my brother, whomever. And if this is going on in the family, then you have to be that one because it's got to eat at you somehow. You can't even go to your friends and have this, well, I just banged my brother. But they like, wait, what?
But what if it's like when it's incest and then molestation?
Yeah.
That's a whole different ball game. And it's like your mother or your auntie know that your old raggedy, dirty uncle.
And they just sweep it into the rug. So it's really sad and tragic.
And then your kids, it's so
everybody's
much
affected
by it, and it's like it makes the victim think that it's okay because everybody knows about it, but nobody did. I remember I was watching the show, and the girl was like her sister had molested her, and that's why her and her sister don't have a good relationship. And the sister that was the molester, she was like she didn't want to hear what but because this happened when they were like 8 and 9 years old, and she was like she couldn't understand why the little sister didn't like her. And so she finally confronted her. She was like, well, why did you do that to me when we were little? And the sister just immediately she snapped off like, oh, she lied. She got up and she left the show because she didn't want to hear. Mm-hmm. And so the girl went on to tell her story. And I'm just like, so you know why you and her always fight? Because now she feels that she grown, she can protect herself.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because I heard Mike Tyson, he was talking on his podcast, and he talked about that's why he started boxing, because he was molested when he was a young boy. Mm-hmm. And he said that his goal was to be as strong as he could to protect himself. He's like, because ain't nobody ever doing this to me ever again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was it was somebody else that he was talking to that he kind of said the same thing. He was like, that's why I have this hard exterior, because when I was young, I had an uncle molested me. He was like, now that's made me shut down on being normal or being able to trust and be vulnerable and let my guards down. He was like, I'm ready to fight every time. He was like, because guess what? When I'm fighting, ain't nobody trying to get close to me.
No.
He was like, if I keep a bad attitude and they know I'll pop you in your mouth, nobody want to get close to you. And he was like, so I'm just realizing it's a defense mechanism, and it's something that I was doing to protect myself. So guys, we got to be so mindful. But yes, your childhood experiences can definitely affect you. So if something traumatic has happened to you, definitely talk to somebody. You may not be able to confide in people in your family because some people just don't understand it. Some things are just too deep that they require professional assistance. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody on a professional level if you feel like you need somebody to talk to. If you done been through some ish, you need to talk to a professional. I'm just gonna say it like that. You need to talk to a professional so that you can unravel some of the things and hopefully, get on a right path to healing and, live some type of normal, happy life. But you got to get that stuff out, because you keeping it bottled up.
That's
You're gonna
not
keep
gonna help.
on having the same
Because
issue.
it's gonna,
that you-
it's like this pimple on my face. It's gonna explode
can't.
one day.
I
I'm
can't.
so sick of
I
this
can't.
thing.
I can't.
Martin West, he said he was fortunate to have his uncle in his life that showed him different ways of what was right and wrong. So,
And that's what we need, more men to step up and definitely do that. Guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break.
short.
And when we return, we're getting into tonight's topic: remaining faithful, possible or wishful thinking. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families. One
I don't know what you
conversation.
did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. No. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done, nail done. When you put that grown on, why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that grown on, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me I'll let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done, nail done. When you put your grown on, why you gotta look so good? It's something about you. When you put your grown on, why you gotta look so good? When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Oh, when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting the wrong woman on. Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done and your nails done. When you put the grown on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
That's the end. Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, woo, sizzling, sexy, simply, whoa. I said author, actress, look at my mama, break my shoulder,
Look at you.
playwright, sex kid. We got sizzling, sexy, simply E. Can I get a woo woo? Can I get a woo woo? You know, we are definitely taking donations on tonight. So if you feel like blessing us, you know,
Crazy.
just feel free to, you know, send it. They got all these little coupons and these little gift cards and stuff, you know, all over, you know, Facebook. You know, y'all go ahead on and send, you know, these $5. You know, we need lunch and breakfast, and you know, now some people say that that's dry bag, and you know what? Listen,
They can ask for birthday donations.
right? What you want? What you want them to send you?
Like 50, 60, 70,
You know what? Listen, I'm gonna be simple. Y'all can send me some
like
them
steak.
coffee gift cards
Yeah, I
on
like
there.
the little-
You
I
know
like
the
that
little
too.
lunch gift cards. You know they got them for $5 or $10.
I
You know,
like
just
that
go
too.
ahead on the. You know, just
I
go
might
ahead on
even
the
show you a little shoulder. Look at it.
shimmy. Well, I'm gonna shimmy this one right here because this one, you know, I done messed this one. This
Shimmy a little bit.
this left shoulder's messed up. You know, again, if anybody got a shoulder that they don't need, a right shoulder,
I'm
I
getting
can
new feet.
definitely. You know, you don't need it.
Amon give me new feet. He said when he gets to the NBA, I said he gonna give me new feet. They don't even got a match.
Well, I just need to borrow somebody's shoulder for a little bit. But guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, tonight we're continuing our theme of cheating. So tonight because we talked about cheating last week. So tonight we want to kind of continue that off, and we want to talk about remaining faithful. Possible or wishful, Lord have mercy, wishful thinking. You all, we are living in a day and time where it's just so much going on. So when you talk about being faithful, let's just kind of break down what faithful is. So now, according, and y'all listen, but this is where we're gonna have to differ at, because I'm gonna tell you what the online source says, and then y'all got to tell me what y'all definition of faithful is, because we don't all have the same definition of faithful. And I think that's where the big disconnect comes in at. So according to an online source, being faithful means not having sex with other people. It also means that you refrain from investing romantically in others, and that I don't need most, I need all. But they says most of your attention, love, and respect should be directed towards your mate or your spouse. Why I don't agree with the most. I want all of your love, all of your respect, and all of your attention. I just want it. I want all
or nothing.
or nothing. That's just how it is. All or nothing. But what is your definition of faithful? Because they just saying having sex with other people. No, I have a few more additives to go
can't
on.
be on. You know, we can't be up in each other's other people's inboxes, sending them a little man, hey, sexy. Don't do that, because if I send the inbox, you know, you gonna be mad at me. So let's not do that. Give me what you want for you. You know, give me what you want me to give you, because if you give me what you giving me, I'm gonna give you what you want, what you're not gonna like. So I'm trying to be respectful.
See that good morning, beautiful, and that good morning, and hey, King. Listen, that should be saved for the person that you are in a relationship with, the person that you are married to, or the person that you talking to. That listen, if we redirect half of the energy that we put into entertaining other folks, our relationships and marriages would be much better.
Baby, you'll see so many relationship cruises and stuff. I mean, this is with my boo. I'm with him instead of I'm with my side dude today.
It's like we don't want to claim our relationships. We don't want to speak. Everything is a secret. Why is it if you married, why is that a secret? I'm not saying that, listen, you gotta post it up all the time, but you should be moving like you're in a relationship. You should be moving like you're married, especially on social media. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but what do you think about how, if you're married or in a relationship, should people know that you're in a relationship or you're married, even if you never post your partner? Should they know? Is it a different type of behavior?
Like you should. You can be yourself. You can be, if you're a flirt, hey, you just naturally flirt, and you may just flirt innocently and you don't even realize it. But they should already know, yeah, I may flirt with you. Ain't nothing shaking. When I leave from this flirting situation, I promise you I'll be right there in bed with my boo, whatever. This is just what I am. This is how I am. This is what it is.
Right. And I think that if you're a flirty person by nature, and your mate or your spouse doesn't take offense to that, then. But if your mate or your spouse takes offense to that, then I would be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just trying to keep the peace. I ain't trying to tear up my household. So, you know, I ain't gonna be sitting up here doing all this. But if you're in somebody's inbox and you are married, or shame on you, tis. The devil is a liar, and you's a lying wonder. Get out those folks' inbox. Get out. Now listen. You are not responsible for who inboxes you. but you don't have to respond. You don't have to entertain all of the nonsense that goes on in the relationship. And with that being said, like, do you feel social media makes it hard to remain faithful?
No, it doesn't. No, because social media is not twisting your arm to respond to messages and stuff in your inbox. Social media is not making you please. They may send you a little thing, you get a little notification. So sent you a message. Good morning, beautiful.
It's like exactly. So you don't have to. Here's the thing: once you respond to one message, you have opened the door, and now they think that they have a way, and now you've given them a way in, and it's just like they'll never leave you alone. Block them.
When they send you that message, don't block them. Send them a link of the J Spot. That's what you do. Share the J Spot to them. Like,
Thank you. But you should not be, if you're, my personal opinion, if you're in a relationship or you're married, you should not be in people inboxes, because what do you have privately to talk about as a married woman or a married man to somebody else, if it's not business related? So it's like, you know what? And even then, let's go to the email. Here's my email address, and let's do it like that. But we don't have to do all this craziness. So is it possible to remain faithful in today's society? Absolutely. But here's the thing, that temptation is real. You have to have a made up mind on, you know what, listen, I'm gonna be faithful. And if you're not, listen, be honest about, listen, I'm still trying to be in the streets and stay in the streets. But don't get in a relationship, but you know you still for the street.
You doing hokey pokey?
You got one foot in a relationship and the other foot in the streets. No, just go all the way in the streets.
And
then when you're ready to come out, then you're ready.
Streets is wonderful.
When you're ready to be in a relationship, social media will no longer be an issue for you. None of this stuff will be an issue for you. And here are some tips that will help you to remain faithful in your relationships and your marriages in this dirty, ratchet 21st dang on century. Avoid sneaky behavior. Things that you would not say or do in front of your partner, listen, cut that ish out. If you once said, if your boo was sitting right there next to you, if you wouldn't do it or say it, you shouldn't be doing it. Work out your relationship issues between you and your mate or your spouse. Don't sneak this on social media. It is not that serious. Work out your issues between yourselves. Stay out of these folks' inboxes and these DMs. And last but not least, keep the fire burning in your relationship. Keep dating each other. Keep your relationship spicy. Keep it interesting.
Send a little winky shot real quick.
Keep it all about you all, but keep other folks out of it.
Yours.
And then just make the decision on, listen, I'm going to be faithful. We in this to win it. I mean, it's a lot of challenges. He look good. I look good. But guess what? We none of that other stuff matters. None of that other stuff other people saying or doing, it shouldn't matter, because what we have is solid. What we have is real, and we in it to win it. Guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share the feed, and until next time.
Thank you for hitting the J Spot.
Good night, you guys. Thank you so
on
much. IntellectualRadio.com.